Ranella Ferrer. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you doing, Daryl?
I'm very good. You're looking great. I see your little puppy hanging out in the background.
I know he always likes to be featured.
So cute.
Waiting. He loves to sing too, which is crazy.
Ah,
So,
okay. Awesome. So
mhm,
speaking of singing, you are a very well-known singer. You're based these days in Los Angeles, but you
mhm.
originally, when you were born in the Philippines.
Philippines,
Um,
yes.
and I think you moved to Southern California age 13. Is that correct?
Yes, correct. We're not going to
Uh,
ask when just because I'm still Gen Z. Okay. I'm Gen Z. I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
fair, fair enough. You got to hold on to that. I get it.
But even
So
Gen Z is getting older now. So, but yeah, go
that's
ahead.
true. Yeah, yeah. Well, I always say Guns N' Roses is classic rock now, which I think is hilarious.
Yeah,
So,
seriously.
yeah. So, you've become sort of the queen of national anthems. You've sung national anthems for the LA Lakers, Dodgers, Rams, Chargers, LA Kings, LA Galaxy, so many different sports teams. Also, you have a recording career. You've released several singles, very successful Grammy associated singles. You were on a popular TV show with Khloé Kardashian, which we're going to talk about as well.
Sure.
So it sounds like you are generally a busy, busy lady.
Yes. I'm just catching up on sleep actually from this weekend, but yes, today I
Ah,
feel refreshed.
yeah, yeah, cool. So,
Yes,
so
I
what have
am.
you? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just say. So, what do you have going on lately? I know, obviously, the anthem thing is always kind of
Hmm.
ongoing.
Right.
Um, but tell me, and I know you're also doing live shows. Tell me what you have going on these days, and what's kind of been your focus.
Well, recently I became a Recording Academy member. So I'm class of 2026, and I'm so honored and privileged to be accepted to be a part of the Recording Academy because I had no idea that not everybody gets accepted to be a part of it and to be a part of the music execs and elites in the business. It's such an honor. So that's one of the things, and I'm working on possibly submitting as a music. I'm sorry, Grammy consideration song because, as you know, right now people are submitting for music to be Grammy considered, whether
Hmm.
you're independent artist, a signed artist. Nowadays, all the artists we're all in the same level. You could just
Hmm.
submit your songs and possibly, be Grammy considered and possibly Grammy nominated or win the Grammy. So you'll never know. And then on top of that, I'm performing tomorrow at Sir in West Hollywood, which is a Vanderpump restaurant. It's an all-white party. And then on the weekends, I've been having a blast working with the Happy Group. I have been directing the talents and the host experience on the red carpet, interviewing backstage, the celebrities, the artists, just everyone, and just letting them know and to create content to provide promotional materials and marketing materials for the Happy Group. And it's been a blast because I get to see the behind the scenes and actual get to talk to the actual artists and celebrities that's about to get on stage. So it's a good experience for me as well. And
Yeah,
it's
and it's
toughening.
great. As I say, it's great to be out there and be on camera and be kind of
Hmm.
interacting with everybody, especially in LA because it's such a vibrant place, right?
Yeah, and it definitely has taught me to have tougher skin because as an artist, usually you're just in the middle and everyone works around you, right? But when you're actually the one in the mix, you get to like really work with personalities. And that's one thing that I think some people don't understand. When you're an artist, it's really different because you're surrounded by people and you're basically giving and giving. And people sometimes when you have a team, you're like in your bubble because you have to stay focused. You just give your talent to the world, but when you're actually in the mix, you get to learn how to work and why things are happening the way they are. And it's different personalities, different characters, and you are also treated differently because you're not like the okay, I'm humbly saying this, you're not the star anymore. You're pretty much working with them, so it's a different dynamic, and
Yeah,
I'm
it's kind of
learning.
you have to kind of shift gears, right?
Yes, yes. So you have to wear many different hats, and that's why I like doing it because literally as an artist I'm more humble, I'm more shy, I don't really like to talk, even though I've been talking for 5 minutes, but But when I'm doing hosting and other things, I get to be more talkative. I get to know people more. I'm not as shy. I get to be a little bit more aggressive with spice. So yeah,
Mm.
I'm loving it. So yeah,
Yeah, and
it's
it's
perfect.
always right. It's always great too to kind of see both sides of things, and you realize too, with every star, it takes a village, right? It's not just one. You can't do it by yourself, basically. Um,
Right.
Talk about being a young girl in the Philippines, listening to music, because Filipino, we were talking about this before we started. Music is such an integral part of Filipino culture. And I know when I moved to Las Vegas many years ago, there was just a lot of so
So
ultra,
many Filipinos.
yeah, and super
Everyone
talented,
is a singer.
especially super talented singers. But talk about that.
Yes.
You're a young girl in the Philippines. Who are you listening to? Who are you looking up to as
You know,
singers?
the the crazy thing is my family is very music oriented. Growing up with my dad and my grandma would I would wake up with blasting music every morning, and she would play the Temptations, the Aretha Franklin, Whitney Houston, all these oldies, the Beatles, Karen Carpenter. So I grew up listening to all the different genres of music, and I learned to love different genres as I was growing up in the Philippines. I loved Karen Carpenter's voice. She has the smoothest angelic voice ever. And I loved Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey, the Temptations, the Beatles. I loved all that. Elvis. So I loved all that. And I was able to adapt. I mean, I was able to absorb all the different musical sounds. So I never really like thought that there was any different genres that was separated. And I've always been a singer. So I've been singing since I was just a fetus in my mother's womb. I've also since I was in third grade, I was always the girl doing this in front of my classmates for the national anthem. So I was
right.
always doing that, and which is crazy now. Fast forward when I got here, junior high, I also started doing the same thing. Even my high school graduation, I was the national anthem singer on graduation night. And then I said, "At the twilight's last gleaming" 3 times. And I wish someone would find that video because my best friend was at the front and I was like, "At the twilight's last gleaming, at the twilight's last gleaming." And then you could see like the fireworks going off. And I was like, "At the twilight." It was just crazy. And fast forward looking at it now, it's like I wish someone could find that video because it was hilarious. So for me to be doing this now, the national anthem, which I didn't that was not part of my plans of being a national anthem queen, as they say. Um, it really was because I was body conscious. I didn't
Mm.
want to move and dance on stage anymore. I gained like 30 pounds, and that's when we'll go on to the revenge body. And then I started gaining more weight, and I was like, well, I still want to sing, and I still have this power in my voice. What can I do to be able to sing and not have to move my body for,
Ah,
you know,
right.
and still be heard by thousands and thousands of people? So I thought to myself, okay, I can do the national anthem. And I kept submitting since like 2011. And how people don't even understand is I did my own research. No one helped me doing it. I literally called Ticketmaster at that time. I was like, "Hi, are you guys booking the national anthem for the Lakers?" They were like, "No, you have to call the Lakers for that."
That's funny.
I was like, "Okay, no problem. Thank you." So I
Yeah.
called the Lakers, found the information, I submitted. The lady was like, "Okay, submit again, do it again." And then until 2015, it was Kobe's last season. I heard
Mm.
it on TV. It was an announcement. And they were like, "It's Kobe's last season." So I said, "Oh my God, it's my last chance." And I was a Kobe fan, to see him or to at least try. And then I tried, and finally I got booked. And that's when everything kind of like happened. And I just was like, okay, now I know the formula. I know what to do. So I just kept doing it.
Yeah, and the national anthem, that is a hot seat thing to do because obviously all eyes are on you. Everybody's listening to every single word. They're listening to every single note. And we know like, the famous Whitney
Oh,
and people that
yeah.
have done the national anthem, that's like a lot to live up to. Do you feel the pressure when you're doing that?
Now, not anymore, but only
Mm,
when I do it for the Lakers for some reason. Because the Lakers is a different beast. You go in there and you don't know who's sitting in the audience. It could be the Kardashians, it could be Denzel
right. Yep.
Washington, it could be Justin Bieber, it could be like all the biggest celebrities, sitting there. And that's one thing that I get nervous singing for. But other than that, all the other ones, I'm like, oh, okay, I've done this before. It's easy. And I got to know how different stadiums sound.
Right.
When you're
Yep.
singing for a baseball field, when you're singing for a football field, the SoFi is a different beast. The
Yeah.
Dodgers Stadium is a different
SoFi is
beast.
such a huge. I was telling you, I work with the Raiders doing photography stuff, and SoFi is such a huge stadium.
I know. I can't wait to be able to hopefully one day, sing for the stadium, for the radio stadium, because the sound system, like I didn't know there was like different echoes and sound, even when there's hockey.
Oh yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
I feel like when I'm singing for a hockey game, your vocals are more like crisp. So I don't know if it
Right.
has something to do with ice. I don't know of the
Yeah. It's interesting. Like, and people don't really, again, they don't really think about that. But I'm like, every time I see somebody doing the national anthem at the Raiders games, I'm like, man, what a lot of pressure. They got a camera right on you, and
yeah,
it's
and
like,
to
God
your
help you
face.
if you forget a word or if you sing a wrong note. It's like, God help you.
Oh my goodness. No, seriously, like, yeah, you're singing, everyone's looking at you, and then when you're singing, there's a camera in your face, and then when you look up, there's a big screen with your face on the camera,
Right.
and I'm trying not to look at myself because obviously that, you have to, it's a focus. And
Yeah.
but you're right, because it's a lot of pressure. Before I sing, I don't like to eat because I'm, a little nervous. As soon as I'm done, I'm like, okay, where's the food? Bring me my
Yeah.
it's
Get my
like a lot
reward
of,
after finishing. That's funny.
yeah.
Tell me, I know you talked about your body and that kind of
Mhm.
stuff. And of course, for women, it's different than men in a way because there's a lot of pressure. And especially if you're in the limelight, if you're out there in front of people performing is always a challenge. Luckily, I think that's become more accepted to have women, full-bodied, full-figured women, which I love. That's,
Amen.
that I think that's awesome.
Mhm.
But tell me about the TV show you did on E with Khloé Kardashian, because that was an interesting show. And I know it was
Yes.
a big journey for you.
Oh, absolutely. So the crazy thing is when I sung the national anthem for the Lakers the first time, that same night, I saw the listing on my computer, and it was saying, I was actually crying after I sung the national anthem because it was like a dream come true. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, God, what's next? That's it. I sing the
Yeah.
anthem and I don't have anything else. That same night, I saw the listing for Revenge Body, and the questions were like, "Have you gained weight and had your heart broken? Have you stopped your doing your dreams because you gained weight?" Yes, me, bitch. I'm like, so I was like, me. And that same week, I got a call, and they were like, "Hi, this is da 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 da," and it was Sheila Conlin. She was the president of the casting agency, and at that time, I believe I was at the Super Bowl in San Francisco. I remember this because, 2015. And I said, I don't know if I want to do this because, at that time they had the other show, The Biggest Loser, where people are running, jumping on tires, eating a
Right.
pizza and crying. I was like, that's not going to be me. I'm not going to be eating a
Yeah, I don't
pizza
want to do all that.
from all this workout. They're like, no, it's going to be motivational. It's going to be about you, your life. I was like, okay, I'll think about it. And then the next day, I get a call again from the president of the casting agency. Like they really wanted me because I was really funny. When I was bigger, I was always silly, and people are like, "Why are you so funny?" I was like, you know what? It comes with the territory. And
Mm.
they begged me. They were like, "Please, it's gonna be about your life story as a singer." Plus, I didn't want to be known as anything else as a singer than a singer. Because I really wanted to be true to my core as far as being at that time, especially in the very beginning of my career, I was like the first Asian artist performing in Hollywood. Social media wasn't big then. Before K-pop, before all that happened, I was opening up for Keyshia Cole, Twista,
Yeah.
Nelly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was in these spaces where there was no Asians.
Mm.
Anyhow, yeah, so I got on the show. My trainer on the show, it was training Michael B. Jordan while he was training for Black Panther. So that was motivational to be at the gym because I was like, well, if Michael B. Jordan's here doing his push-ups, I will just be on the treadmill and watch.
Exactly.
So I got free shows, and then Corey Kaye, that was my trainer. And fast forward, Corey is actually the one who trained Lizzo. That's how
Ah,
she's lost her weight now. Because people
awesome.
are like, no, she's on Ozempic. I was like, trust me, no, she's with Corey, because Corey does not play when it comes to training. He's one of the best trainers like in the world, literally. Just his presence alone is very intimidating. So yeah, and then fast forward, I just started, submitting to perform again, national anthems, and performing, and then here I am, just nonstop grind and nonstop, you know, as an independent artist too. I'm grateful that I'm still getting opportunities, but I
Mm.
feel like you create opportunities for yourself. You just got to move. You can't just wait and do nothing. You have to, some artists wait. Oh, let me find a manager, but do you have anything to manage?
Right,
That
exactly. Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah,
So,
you got to bring
people.
these days. You got to bring something to the table, and it's like, I get a lot of submissions for people that want to do the podcast, and I first thing I do, like most people do, is they go on to Spotify, they check out their Instagram, and that's kind of the world
Mhm.
we live in today. Like, talk about that for artists. Like, it's important to kind of have that end of things together as well, right?
Absolutely. Because as a creative, we're we can be all over because we're creatives. So and doing the executive stuff, it's a little tough. And I've seen this a lot with many different amazing artists, amazing writers. Sometimes they just don't have their business together, and that's why they haven't gotten to the next level.
Right.
So even if you don't have to know everything, you don't have to wait on or depend on someone. You could really do it on your own if you really want it that bad. That will be your school, that will be your college, that will be the self education that you need, is the business part of music. Even submitting yourself to a distribution company, to DistroKid, and releasing your songs. But I also say this: if you're going to release something in music that you really believe in, make sure, and you think that, oh, this is the world wants to listen to, make sure you just promote it as much as possible within your own friends and have your friends post it for you. And also, sometimes people are like, oh, listen to my music. And then I just say to them, can you hear this playing on the radio and worldwide nonstop? Can you perform this 100 times over and over again for a year? Will you
Mhm.
get tired of performing this? So if you can't, then keep working, keep
Yeah.
doing it, keep going.
Yeah, and
Because
it's
if
a process. I think also too, waking up on with a mission every day, right? Keeping yourself staying self motivated is super important.
Yeah, self motivation is really, especially, you got to just stay focused. Like, sometimes you got to stay away from social media, or just, if you know your goal, I don't know, because I always believe it's different strokes for different folks, right? Just because that's how I survived in this business. If I followed what this person's path is, I wouldn't be here, So, whatever you know and you believe in, if you really believe in it, you just, like, I feel like the universe, God, Jesus will make a way to ensure that you get there. It's not going to be easy the whole time, but you will have signs and you will have opportunities, because
Mhm.
I've tried to walk away from this business so many times, but God is like, nope, you're not done, keep
Yeah.
going. I'm like, seriously, I'm done. I don't want to deal with these people. Like, because it's not even about the craft. I love performing, I love music, I love being recording, I love, singing the national anthem. It's the business and the people, and the stuff you have to deal with. I don't want to have to pat my own self in the back and be like, oh yeah, I've done this, that, because there's so many, but
Mhm.
it's just, it's a lot. But you have time. If you have time to be on social media to do all that, then you have time to promote yourself. You have time to do your research of being if you're still an independent artist. Because I mean, at least with me, that's how I've been all these years. I've been pretty much independent, and I've gotten myself to this level. I'm humbly saying this. So yes.
Yeah. No, it's for real, and you've accomplished a lot. And that's the thing. At the end of the day, all we have is ourselves, right? We have to figure
Yeah.
out how we're gonna get out there, and I can totally relate to that. I grew up in L.A. playing in the clubs, doing
Me-
that stuff, and kind of
Yeah.
fighting that out. And it's hard to survive that, right?
Yes. What kind of music did you play? Now I'm asking you questions because I remember you telling me where you are. I'm not going to say what city unless you want to say it, but
Yeah.
I know there was like Spaghettini. There's that
Oh yeah,
club.
yeah, yeah.
Did you ever play?
Oh yeah,
Because
yeah.
it was kind of
It,
local-ish.
yeah, yeah. So yeah. I've been a musician. I kind of have 10 jobs. I'm still a
We
pro.
have to.
Yeah. I'm still a pro musician. So these days I'm doing a lot of tribute acts around the world, basically around the world. Um, and I'm a bass player, but I'm also a Sports Illustrated photographer with the Las Vegas Raiders. So I kind of do a lot of different things, but kind of for me,
Wow.
like the kind of common thread through all that is being self-motivated. Again, like waking up every day, like accomplishing your goals, being on a mission to get things done. And once you learn that skill, I'm sure you know this, it can work in every genre and in any business. It's just being present, showing up, doing the work.
Yeah,
That's the
absolutely.
big lesson for me, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's kind of like you have to love something about what you do every day,
Yep.
even though, it's part of the path, it's part of the plan of
Hmm.
everything. As long as you're enjoying it, as long as you love it, as long as you're having fun, then keep going. And there's a struggle around it. I always tell people all the time because like sometimes, I catch up with people and they're like, "Oh my god, on social media, you're having so much fun." But I'm like, "You don't understand what's happening behind the scenes." They're like,
Yeah.
"What?" It shows, because they don't understand there's so much sacrifice for that one moment, for that 2 minutes of my time that I am there in the middle singing in front of 70,000 people. There's a lot of stuff happening before that, and they only
Right.
get to see the highlight because at the end of the day, I get the whole marketing. People don't like people are like, "Oh, well, how come you only get to see the highlight?" Because I'm an artist. You don't need to know all the personal stuff sometimes. I don't need to show you everything. There's only parts of it that you need to know and understand. That's the perception that we want to feed them. And that's for every brand, everything, politicians, whatever is given to you and is really mostly what people want to feed you. It's not really sometimes what's happening behind closed doors.
Right. And
So,
also too, whatever life gives you, it's about your job in that situation as especially as an independent artist is to make the most out of what you're given, make the most
get
out of
it.
opportunities, right?
Right. And that's what even like right now, I was given an opportunity to work with Happy Group. And I love the fact that the name, first of all, is Happy Group because I feel like I'm always like the happy person. They've been throwing concerts all over, but specifically at the Pershing Square at downtown LA, free festivals for everyone.
Oh, awesome.
And
Yeah.
for the past 4 years, this past weekend we just had, Carrie Hilson and like Too Short, West Coast rappers. Last week we had Rockero Festival, so it was a bunch of Spanish rock, which was so fun. This weekend we have reggaeton on Saturday, and then Sunday we have R&B with like Trey Songz and Ray J. And other artists. So it's
Yeah.
fun every weekend, and I truly enjoy it. However, there's production stress because and it's hot outside, but it's fun.
Yeah.
But I enjoy doing it. I enjoy being around music, and I always say this too: if you're going to do something, just enjoy it. At least you're stressing over something you love doing rather than something that you hate doing.
Right.
You
And
know?
it's important to remember, like you kind of what you already talked about, but and I always say this to people. It's important to remember why you got into music. It was because it touched your soul and it brought you joy. So, and as long as you hold on to that, even in the tough times, you'll still have a twinkle in your eye and you'll enjoy what you're doing. That's super important, right?
I love that. Yes, absolutely. You'll still have that
Mm.
twinkle in your eye. That's so true.
How can
Because
people
people
find you
lose it.
on?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
go
How
ahead.
can people find you online if they want to check out your shows and check out your music and all that stuff?
People can find me on Ranella Ferrer, RANELLAFERRER. That is my Instagram, and that's where I update everything. And yeah, so just many more. Hopefully, I get to go back to Las Vegas this season because last year I sung for the Las Vegas Aces final, and it was the
Awesome.
night Alger Wilson got MVP award.
Mm.
So that was my second time in a row. Hopefully this year, I think I submitted too late, but I've already, they said if anything happens postseason, they'll contact me. And if I do go, I would love to extend my invite and you can come with me.
Yeah, let me know. Yeah, that's Mark's other team. Mark Davis owns the Raiders, but he also owns the Aces, and they've been very
Yes,
successful. Yeah.
I've actually met him. He was at that game. Yes,
Yeah,
he was
Mark's
at
a
the
nice
game.
guy. And actually the Aces they practice or their facility is right next to the Raiders headquarters. So it's
Yes,
I'm over
yes,
there every
across the
day.
street. Oh, nice. That's amazing. Oh, that's right. Duh. I forgot. You don't need. I don't even need to give you ISIS. You're like, just walk in there. Okay.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me. And I mean, you have such an interesting thing that you've created. And I know you work very hard at doing what you do. Your content is always fun and uplifting on your pages. So I
Oh, thank
encourage
you.
everybody to check you out and check out your music and all your fun photos and videos.
I thank you so much, Daryl, and I'm looking forward to meeting you in person one day and hopefully making music with you or seeing you
Yeah,
perform.
definitely. Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. Everybody, please check out her pages, and I will put links in the podcast description, including links to your music and links to your Instagram and all that stuff, so that people can find you.
Thank you, Daryl.
Awesome. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.